What if I told you an ordinary Thanksgiving day could turn into a haunting mystery? Welcome to the chilling case of Kelsey Berreth, where the ordinary meets the unimaginable. Imagine a young mother celebrating a holiday with loved ones and then vanishing without a trace. What unfolded next is a dark and twisted tale that will send shivers down your spine. Stay with us as we unravel the disturbing events that led to Kelsey's disappearance, the shocking discoveries, and the sinister secrets that were eventually brought to light. Trust me, you won't want to miss a second of this gripping story. The first thing to understand about Kelsey Berreth is that she was an everyday person just like you and me. Born and raised in Washington, Kelsey was known for her warm smile and kind nature. She grew up in a loving family, surrounded by the beauty of the Pacific Northwest. Friends and family describe her as a dedicated and passionate individual, especially when it came to her career as a pilot. Kelsey had an adventurous spirit, often seen soaring through the skies, which was not just her job but her true passion. She was also a devoted mother to her daughter, Kaylee, who was the light of her life. Kelsey's daily routines were filled with the ordinary joys and challenges of motherhood. She balanced her duties as a pilot with the responsibilities of raising Kaylee, ensuring she had the best of both worlds. Even with her busy schedule, Kelsey always made time for her family and friends, often seen at community events or simply enjoying a quiet day at home. Her relationship with her fiancé, Patrick Frazee, seemed to be steady, bringing a sense of balance to a hectic life. Those who knew her often spoke about her unwavering determination and the genuine care she had for those around her, painting a picture of a life that on the surface appeared happy and full of promise. The second practice involves understanding the timeline of Kelsey Berreth's last known whereabouts. Thanksgiving Day, November 22, 2018, began like any other for Kelsey. She was last seen at a grocery store near her home in Woodland Park, Colorado. Surveillance footage captured her shopping with her daughter, Kaylee, a sight that seemed completely ordinary. After leaving the store, Kelsey made a phone call to her fiancé, Patrick Frazee. This call around noon was one of the last confirmed interactions anyone had with her. The next day, November 23, Kelsey was supposed to meet her fiancé to exchange their daughter. However, she never showed up. Patrick claimed he received a text from Kelsey saying she wouldn't be able to make it. From that moment, Kelsey vanished without a trace. The initial reaction from her family and friends was one of confusion and concern. Kelsey's mother, Cheryl, grew increasingly worried when she couldn't reach her daughter. Cheryl contacted the police on December 2, reporting Kelsey missing. By then, it had been over a week since anyone had seen or heard from her. The community rallied together, conducting search parties and distributing flyers, hoping to find any clue that could lead to Kelsey's whereabouts. Eyewitness accounts and surveillance footage was scrutinized, yet there were no significant leads. The emotional toll on loved ones was palpable. Cheryl Berreth, in particular, was vocal about her distress, pleading with the public for any information. Friends described Kelsey as a reliable and loving person who would never leave her daughter behind, adding layers to the mystery. The initial investigation efforts were thorough, involving both local authorities and the FBI. They searched Kelsey's home and the surrounding areas but found no signs of struggle or forced entry. While the investigation ramped up, the sense of dread among those close to Kelsey deepened. The mystery of her sudden disappearance left everyone grasping for answers, setting the stage for the chilling discoveries that would soon follow. The third practice involves unraveling the dark secrets that began to surface as the investigation into Kelsey Berreth's disappearance intensified. As authorities dug deeper, they started to uncover shocking revelations that painted a sinister picture behind Kelsey's seemingly ordinary life. The first major breakthrough came when investigators turned their focus on Kelsey's fiancé, Patrick Frazee. Despite his initial cooperation with the police, inconsistencies in his statements raised red flags. His calm demeanor and lack of urgency contrasted sharply with the desperation shown by Kelsey's family. As they scrutinized Patrick's alibi, authorities discovered he had been in contact with a woman named Crystal Lee Kenny, a nurse from Idaho, around the time of Kelsey's disappearance. This led them to question Crystal, who initially denied any involvement but later confessed to a chilling conspiracy. Crystal revealed that Patrick had manipulated her into helping him carry out a gruesome plan to murder Kelsey. Under immense pressure, she disclosed that Patrick had coerced her into cleaning up the crime scene at Kelsey's townhouse, detailing how she had driven from Idaho to Colorado to assist him. She described a horrifying scene where she cleaned blood evidence with bleach, trying to erase any trace of the brutal act. Crystal's testimony provided critical insight into Patrick's role in Kelsey's disappearance and led to a more focused investigation. The police then searched Patrick's property and discovered crucial evidence, including Kelsey's burned remains in a black plastic tote, confirming the worst fears. Further probing revealed a disturbing motive. Patrick viewed Kelsey as an obstacle to gaining full custody of their daughter, Kaylee. His cold calculation and premeditated actions shocked everyone who knew him. The revelations of his dark intentions and the extent of his manipulation of Crystal added a terrifying layer to the case. As the trial proceeded, more grisly details emerged, gripping the nation and keeping everyone on edge. Testimonies from Crystal and other witnesses painted a picture of Patrick as a mastermind behind a carefully plotted murder. The evidence was damning. Bloodstains in Kelsey's home, cell phone records, and surveillance footage all pointed to Patrick's guilt. Each new piece of evidence brought a mix of horror and relief, as it not only highlighted the brutality of the crime, but also moved one step closer to justice for Kelsey. During the courtroom drama, the emotions ran high. Kelsey's family, especially her mother Cheryl, endured the heart-wrenching process, seeking closure and justice for their beloved Kelsey. In the end, Patrick Frazee was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Crystal Lee Kenny, in exchange for her testimony, received a plea deal and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. The verdict provided a sense of justice, but did little to erase the pain and loss felt by Kelsey's loved ones. The case of Kelsey Berreth remains a chilling reminder of how quickly an ordinary life can descend into a nightmare. The chilling truth came to light during the intense courtroom drama that followed. As the trial began, the nation watched with bated breath. Each day brought forth new revelations, peeling back the layers of deceit and horror that surrounded Kelsey Berreth's case. The prosecution presented compelling evidence that painted a grim picture of Kelsey's final moments and the cold, calculating nature of her killer, Patrick Frazee. Witnesses took the stand, sharing testimonies that revealed Patrick's manipulative and controlling behavior, particularly towards Kelsey. The star witness, Crystal Lee Kenny, provided a detailed and disturbing account of the events leading up to and following Kelsey's murder. Her testimony was crucial, describing the chilling reality of Patrick's plan to eliminate Kelsey and gain full custody of their daughter. Crystal's account of cleaning up the crime scene, along with the corroborating evidence found at Patrick's property, left little room for doubt. The courtroom was often filled with an air of palpable tension as Kelsey's family and friends endured the harrowing details of the crime. They listened in anguish as the evidence unfolded, each piece more damning than the last. Bloodstains matching Kelsey's DNA, surveillance footage, and cell phone records all pointed to Patrick's guilt. The defense struggled to counter the overwhelming evidence, and as the trial progressed, it became clear that justice was within reach. Patrick Frazee's motives were laid bare, a twisted desire to rid himself of Kelsey and secure custody of their daughter, driven by a mix of selfishness and cold-blooded calculation. The impact of these revelations on Kelsey's family and the community was profound. Friends and relatives who had once seen Patrick as a loving partner were now faced with his true sinister nature. The betrayal and shock reverberated through the small town of Woodland Park, leaving residents grappling with the reality that such evil could exist within their midst. As the trial reached its conclusion, the jury's verdict brought a mix of relief and sorrow. Patrick Frazee was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Crystal Lee Kenny, in exchange for her cooperation, received a reduced sentence, a point of contention for many who felt her punishment did not fit the gravity of her involvement. The resolution of the case offered a semblance of justice, but it could never fully mend the hearts broken by Kelsey's tragic fate. Kelsey's family, especially her mother Cheryl, found a bittersweet closure in the conviction, knowing that Patrick would no longer pose a threat. The case left an indelible mark on those who followed it, a stark reminder of the dark undercurrents that can lurk beneath seemingly ordinary lives. With Patrick behind bars, the community slowly began to heal, though the memory of Kelsey Berreth and the horror of her final days would never fade. The horrifying truth of her fate serves as a somber testament to the resilience of a family and a community united in their quest for justice. In summary, the case of Kelsey Berreth is a stark and heart-wrenching reminder of the dark realities that can hide behind seemingly ordinary lives. It teaches us the importance of vigilance and the sometimes hidden depths of human behavior that can lead to unimaginable outcomes. Though justice has been served, the lingering questions about how such a brutal act could occur in the fabric of everyday life continue to haunt us. What drives a person to commit such evil? How can we better protect those we love from hidden dangers? As we reflect on Kelsey's story, let's also think about the ways in which we can support one another and foster a safer, more compassionate community. I encourage you to share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. What are your takeaways from this tragic case? And if you found this story compelling, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future episodes. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive into one of the most chilling true crime stories. Until next time, stay safe and vigilant.